good? What's good? See, Prince, what's up, man?
No, man, how you doing today?
Not too bad, man. I see you over here co-hosting today, man. Is that what we doing, man?
A little bit. I'm gonna try.
Well, shout out to everybody joining us today. This is Looking to Mirror the Conversation. I'm one of your co-hosts, Quay Price. We got our other co-host, C Prince over here. We got Chloe just jumped in. What's going on, Chloe?
Hey.
Hey, what's that? Oh, you getting in on the action early today, C Prince.
I know.
Hey, C Prince said he hosting today, so he gonna rock with me for a minute.
You got big shoes to fill. You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm about to pull out the dictionary.
Oh man, you funny. Well, let's shout out to everybody joining us today. This is Looking to Mirror the Conversation, where we like to have those conversations that everybody is, sometimes can be a little scared to have. We like to touch those controversial topics, and then at the same time, we like to touch topics that can generate some change in our community, help change our trajectory, and just, like I said, force us to look in the mirror, and how we go about things, or our perspective on things, or how we moving out here. So shout out to you, let's say, everybody watching and everybody joining us in the comments. So I'm gonna drop this link to the panel. Let me do that real quick. I'm gonna drop this in all of the chat feeds so everybody has it. So give me 1 sec so we can get that out. That's one. Get this other one out. All right, that's two. All right, cool. So let me hit these sponsors, then we're gonna get into this real quick. All right, let's see. Screen. All right, shout out to our first sponsor, War on Friendly Grounds. This is our own King Jaquil Martin's book right here, and I'm not sure where he's at. Hopefully he pops on at some point. This is his book right here, 5-star rated on Amazon. He also has the short film that accompanies the book as well. That's been making his rounds through all the film festivals, doing his thing. So shout out to him for that. But yeah, definitely go support the brother. waronfriendlygrounds.com, or waronfriendlygrounds with an S.com. And then we have our second sponsor, Two Sons Juice Co. This is a cold pressed juice company based in Metro Detroit, all natural, no preservatives, only fruit, only veggies in the bottle, cleanse kits, you name it. Like I said, everything in the bottle has a purpose. Like I said, this is just not a juice company that just makes random juices. Every juice has a purpose. So definitely go check them out. The number Two Sons JuiceCo.com, the number Two Sons JuiceCo.com. All right, cool. So that's the sponsor. So the topic for tonight is what's wrong with asking questions? What's wrong with asking questions? All right. So giving you guys a little background context on this topic tonight. So I posted something the other day on Facebook, and actually I'm gonna pull up the flyer. Yeah, that'll make it a little easier. I'm gonna pull up the flyer so everybody can see it. All right. So I posted something the other day on Facebook, and it was from a young lady at the top, and she said something about a man asking me, "Do you cook?" makes me want to poison his food. And that's what she said, right? So I posted this question on my timeline because I wanted to see, what other ladies, said about this particular statement that this young lady made. And man, lo and behold, it kind of, I guess I'll say, it kind of blew up a little bit. And a lot of the, we had a substantial amount of the ladies who, were in agreement, with the fact of a guy asking that question. And just to kind of piggyback on that young lady's original statement, there was another statement that came back that said, "OMG, I was just talking about this. I lose interest real quick if a guy says this." So clearly, based off, the comments that came into my post and other feedback, like this is a thing. And I'm just looking at one of the comments right now, and I'm just quoting. It says, "It's just a whack question." And I was actually surprised to see some of this stuff. Like I said, I did not think that a man asking a woman, does she cook? I didn't think it would trigger this type of reaction. Like I said, you had some young ladies who were a little heated about it. You had some young ladies who felt disrespected. You had some young ladies who thought it was out of pocket, you know, just all type of stuff. Like, so it was a plethora of stuff. And I mean, a lot of comments. So yeah, it kind of triggered this conversation for tonight. Because I'm just going to speak from my own perspective. I'm starting to notice something, right? And what I'm starting to notice is there's different standards for what ladies can do versus what men can do when it comes to engaging the opposite sex, or I'll call it that, engaging the opposite sex, or dating, or whatever you want to call it. And it based on some of the responses that I saw, and once again, let me say this, I don't want to misrepresent anybody. There were a lot of ladies who said it was not an issue. If they had no issue with the question, they actually welcome a guy asking them questions. How else do you get to know somebody without asking questions, right? So they were fine with it. And they were like, hey, my next question may be, what kind of meal does he want? What does he want me to cook him, right? So a mix of responses, right? But like I said, there was a substantial amount who had a problem with it and had a problem with the question. So tying that back to what I was saying a minute ago, I just have noticed that it is starting to feel like it is okay for women to ask whatever questions they want to ask. We already know that, a lot of ladies have these lists that we talk about, this list of requirements of men, how tall he is, how much money does he make, does he have a house, does he have a car, does he got a 401k, does he got investments, does he got a house a cabin up north, does he wear Jordans? Like, there's this list of requirements for men. But it's almost like it almost becomes an issue when the guy has questions, or when he presents a list of requirements for women. So I'm pretty sure that's why, Los wanted to get into this topic. But I don't think it's a bad topic to discuss, because, we definitely got something brewing there. So just give me your thoughts. Should questions to ladies be offensive, from guys? I mean, should guys ask these questions so they can get to know these ladies? Are the ladies being selfish? Is it really disrespectful? Like, give me your thoughts on this. What do y'all think about this topic? Is it what's wrong with asking questions?
Well, I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong with asking questions. It might be a timing issue sometimes. That should be the first question you ask, or something like that. It could be a timing issue, but if you notice, the conversation has changed. Most women are bored with the traditional questions. Now if I say, hey, you want to smoke a blunt or something like that, they game for that. You see what I'm saying? Or hey, let's go over here and get some drinks. They game for that. But anything back in the house, they're not game for that, because they want you to spend some dollars to show how much you show affection to them. Like, the more money you spend, the more they out. You know what I'm saying? Now they're like, oh, this dude is feeling me. He's feeling this dough. But I just don't get it. I mean, I come from the thing, conversations, everything, And right now, they don't have conversation. They have cell phones, They be in the club, like I said, on one end, texting the same man they just talked to, like, can I get your number? And they talk about nothing. So I don't think they know how to have a conversation nowadays. I don't think they know how to have a conversation at all.
Okay, I can feel that. I'm gonna come back to something you said. You want to say something, Chloe?
Well, yeah, I just I wonder what happened to the art of conversation, but also, like, what happened to, like, dating and the whole concept of dating? Like, you dated people to get to know them. So, I mean, yeah, I guess there's some questions you can ask a little early, but if you trying to be honest with the person and you're trying to be upfront with the person, I feel like getting to know as much about the person is a good idea. Because let's be honest, why would either one of us want to waste our time? Like, why would either one of us want to just waste time, like going on dates, but we're not really saying nothing. We're talking on the phone, but we're not really asking any real questions because, you know, we don't want to finesse, or we don't want to, you know, is it too soon? Is it not? Like, we're trying to get to know each other, right? Like, I'm auditioning you, you're auditioning me. Let's just call it what it is. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to find out if you're really somebody I even want to spend time with like that. And you trying to find out the same. And for a dude these days, I would think you'd rather know as soon as possible, because you don't really want to be, you know, I mean, I ain't trying to be funny. I'm not saying a dude should feel this way, but a dude might be like, I want to know, you know, what you working with. I mean, you know, before I start spending all this money on you. Like, and I'm not saying that's right. I'm simply saying, though, a man could feel like that, because we know that there are some women, not all women. We know there are some women who use these dates as opportunities to get free meals and free drinks, and they have zero interest in the guy. So it's like, is it really wrong for the guy to be like, I'm really trying to see what you about? Like, so I'm asking questions to see what you about. Like, if you really out here dating a date and you're not just dating a hookup, then what's wrong with him asking you a question? It's not like he said, go and get in the kitchen and cook me some food. He said, do you cook? There might be a reason why he asking you, do you cook? Like, you know what I'm saying? It could be a reason why he's saying, have you ever been out the country? Like, he might be asking you because he might like to travel. He want to see if you might be somebody that can be his travel partner. Like, he trying to see if you know, maybe y'all go on trips together. It's like, don't be so quick to be offended by every question. Like, this is called getting to know each other. Like, if it's either the answer is yes or no, you don't know. He might be like, actually, I prefer to cook. I was just asking you because I wanted to know. You know, I mean, it's just, I think we so sensitive. Everybody is just, all of a sudden, everybody's so sensitive. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, and I think, so that's you know, kind of the part of it that was puzzling me, right? So, you know, some of the responses from some of the ladies, you know, that responded to the post were, well, you know, in return, you know, they're gonna ask these men questions, right? You know, do you fix stuff? You know what I'm saying? Do you work on cars? You know, do you snake out drains in the house? You know, and the response was, it's like, yeah, I can do those things, right? So, you know, in those earlier days, you know, guys kind of wore those things as a badge of honor, right? You know, if you was a handyman, you wanted folks to know you was a handyman, right? And everybody that knew you was a handyman, you know, was calling you, hey, you know, Quay, this, you know, I got this pipe that's backed up over here. Can you come go help my mom out, or so forth, right? So you wore that as a badge of honor, if you will, that you were handy and you could work with your hands, right? So, you know, from my perspective, most males are not going to get offended when you ask them those type of things. But at the same time, you know, I remember ladies used to wear cooking as a badge of honor. You know, if a lady could get in the kitchen and, you know, as they say, if she can get in there and burn, you know what I'm saying, that was a badge of honor, because all ladies can't cook, right? So she would wear that proud. You know, if a lady could get in there, was cooking meals and taking care of the family, and the family was fed good every holiday and all that, she wore that as a badge of honor, right? But it almost seems like that stuff has changed today. It's almost like that's no longer a badge of honor to cook meals and you know, and engage the family and you know, those types of things, which is, you know, why one of the reasons why I would assume somebody would get offended being asked that question, or like some of the people said in the post, maybe those folks just can't flat out cook, so they get offended that you even asked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but let me get this comment real quick. Let's see. Erica Arrington says, let's see. Questions are how you get to know each other. I prefer you ask me questions, and you know, and vice versa, so that we can see if it's even worth continuing dating. And Erica, I agree with that, you know, 100%. You know, this is what people do. Like, people ask questions, you know, to get to know people. People provide scenarios to see how you will respond to that scenario. You know, people watch your movements to see if, you know, you're a nurturing type of person, so they'll know, you know, this person may be good with a family, or this person may be good if we have kids down the line. Like that's what people do. So, like I said, I struggle to understand where the offense part comes in with somebody trying to essentially interview you and see if, you know what I'm saying, you are a possible mate or possible companion for them to link up with, you know, and start and develop a relationship. So yeah, it's just interesting to me. But another thing I wanted to touch on that was in one of the responses, and actually a couple of the responses on the post said that maybe maybe it was the way that the guy asked the question. And I wanted to touch on that because I also feel like that may be a part of the issue as well. Like, when do we get to the point where we want to dictate what somebody asks us and we want to dictate how they ask it? Like, where where did that come from? Like, where did all of the controlling, like, because at the end of the day, you know, you're two different people. So like I said, you ain't gonna be able to dictate, you know, how somebody asks a question that they want to ask you. So I said, you know, hearing that these types of things, it's like, what do we really have going on? Like, what has really developed between men and women at this point? Better yet, what has fallen apart between men and women at this point? Like I said, why is there, it just feels like there's so much disconnect or friction, or I don't even know what the right word is, but it just seems like, let's say, men and women are just not in sync. And like I said, a lot of these traditional things that we used to do, even as simple as dating, has just, it's like disappeared.
I mean, I think that it's, for me, I would like to know, and maybe if there's, you know, someone in the comments who would be willing to answer this, but I would like to know realistically, what do you want from a man, as far as what would you want him to, how would you want him to speak to you? What is it that you're looking for them to say, right? Because these are traditional questions. What do you do? You know, what do you like to do for fun? Hey, do you cook? Like, have you ever been, you know, I don't know, do you go out of town a lot? Have you ever been, you know, out of the US? Like, you know, what, you know, just, do you work out or whatever, like just questions that's like, it's not that they're, I mean, what are you like, if a dude be like, oh, do you work out? Are you hearing, dang, you fat? Like, that's not what he said. He said, do you work out? Because maybe he want to know, can that be a date? Can y'all get together and go to the gym? He work out. So, okay, we can get up and go. We can, you know what I'm saying? It's not always about being offended or someone trying to offend you or front you off. Like, I feel like one of the comments was like, a dude was like, I'm just asking because I like to cook. I thought it might be like a fun date idea for us to cook together. Like, and he was like, don't dig. And it's like, dang, ladies, don't dig. Like, for real, like, why are we digging? And I'm not going to put it off like I haven't done that before. I have. I'm trying to figure out, but once we realize and we recognize that we're doing something that maybe is not a good habit, like, we're supposed to change it, right? So it's not always okay to read something into every question that a man asks you. Like, sometimes you can just take the question for a question. Do you cook? He just want to know you cook. Like, he not asking you to get up and go in the kitchen. He not saying he expect you to be barefoot and pregnant. He didn't say none of that. All he said was, do you cook? Like, just answer that one question for what it is. I mean, what else would you want a man to ask? And let's just be honest. There's certain things, if you're looking for a dude that wants to, be a provider, then he might be looking at it like, ask me, do I mow the lawn? Do I, change brakes? Do I change oil or whatever? Because as a man, these are the things I'm bringing to the table, right? So as a woman, I want to know what you're bringing to the table. Like, traditionally, women are going to be the nurturers for the kids. They're going to be, the ones, kind of helping them maybe with their homework and wanting to cook or wanting to do that, like the nurturer of the family. That's typically what the mom is. So the guy might be asking you because he's interested in having kids one day and he just want to know these things about you. It's like, and that's a fair question to ask. Like, we have certain resources that we bring to the table. Men have certain resources that they bring to the table. And this is what we're trying to get to, right? We're trying to understand, what are you bringing? What am I bringing? If we put this thing together, what are we going to have? I think it's valid. I don't understand that. Like, I almost want to ask ladies, like, is it that you don't want a man to expect anything of you? Like, is it that you don't want a man to expect anything of you? Is it that you want him to come to the table and you want him to buy purses and shoes and bags and change garbage and take out the trash and, fix brakes and wash cars and mow lawns? But then when I be like, okay, but what are you bringing to the table? And he can't even ask you if you cook.
Hold on. Go ahead, C Prince. Go ahead, man.
You asked a valid question. Where is the disconnect? And I'm gonna say it like this. Men and women are disrespectful. So when a question is asked, everybody is looking for the disrespect or the line. You gotta think about it. If you constantly call yourself out your name and they call themselves out their name and not by their name, guess what? They disrespect themselves. And when y'all come together, y'all got a disrespectful situation. Because like I said, I hate when I talk to a woman and she says, I'm that witch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, huh? Where that come from? I didn't call you that. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to think about it. You set the grounds and standards of how I'm going to interact with you. You see what I'm saying? And most days, most men and women, they live for the moment. They don't try to build memories. It's just the moment. That's all they want is a moment. You just a path in time for them. They ain't looking to wife you and stuff. They might spend some cash, take you out. That's all right. Because brothers are wasting money. They're not investing enough. They wasted money. They ain't trying to build no communities or nothing. They just wasting money. The next best thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how we've been taught. Go to the next best thing. Men treat women like cars. We go to the next best thing. Look, and women, y'all treat men like toys. Soon as you're done one, you go get you another one. So it's just the disrespect we bring to each other that prevents us to communicate on simple questions. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I feel that. Let me get a couple of these comments. So Corinne dropped a comment. She said, I've actually been on a few dates within the last couple months, and we had great experiences. Went out to eat and coffee, and afterwards went home and got back on the phone and had our conversations. And Corinne, I said, that's what it used to look like. Right. That's what the process or dating used to look like. I guess I'm just only concerned that if we can't get past a man asking you a question, like, will we ever get to the long walk on the beach? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can't get past asking mutual questions, and you got another comment in here that I want to put up as well. Corinne also said you can't take things personally when you just meet someone because you're still at the getting to know you stage. And like I said, Corinne, once again, you're absolutely right. But see, I think this ties into what C Prince was saying is, and also what Chloe was saying is, I just feel like we are taking simple questions and we are overlaying our own personal feelings and perspectives on top of the questions. So to Chloe's point, now we're digging, right? We're looking for something to be wrong in the situation. It just can't be a man saying, do you cook? It's got to turn into, are you going to be cooking for me every day? Or it's got to be interpreted as, You know, I want you cooking 24/7. I don't go out to eat. Like all this other stuff takes place. And all the guy asked was, do you cook? As simple as that. And then two, to see Prince's point, you know, once you lay in that disrespect, you know, in the situation or that disrespect is going on, and then you layer that on top of a question. Now a question has went from just being an innocent question to get some information to now, you know, what do they say these days? See, Prince, you taking a shot at me, or you trying to be slick, you know? Now it's got to turn into all of that. And it's like, whatever happened to me just asking a little honest little question, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get to know you and see if we can build a little something together. Los, what's up, man?
What's up, man? I apologize for my tardiness. I had a quiz that I needed to take care of because, you know, about the funeral that I'm coming back from. I just lost my aunt, and then her daughter died the day after. So that messed up my whole school vibe. So I'm just playing catch up with school. So I apologize to our audience. I apologize for being on CP time. I just had some real life things that I needed to take care of real quick.
Yeah, no, my condolences on that, brother. I didn't know you had all that going on, man. But no, we are glad you made it. Let's say, you know, see, Prince took on the co-host spot, you know, with you know.
Oh, the first lady. See, Prince, I appreciate you, man. I know you're dropping some gems for the audience and the fans. First lady, we appreciate you. Yeah, you know I mean, is that the bonnet?
No, that ain't the bonnet, man. That ain't the bonnet, man.
That's why I'm but no, let's work. Let's get to it, man.
I'm about to. Quay said something that made me think. You know, it's not just asking a woman, can she cook? You could walk up to a woman and say, how are you doing? And her whole attitude, like, I don't know you. I'm just asking you a simple question, how you doing? You see what I'm saying? So they make it so you can't even approach them. You know, you're like, hey, I don't want no problems. I'm just asking how you doing, because you look kind of stressed, you know? You all right? We're just checking on you. You know, because it's sad now that you can see a woman struggling in your car, raining and stuff. You ain't stopping to pick her up. You know, 9 times you're like, hey, are you all right? Need help? You going down the street? You know what I'm saying? You won't do these things no more. The things we used to do, we don't do, because guess what? You're going to get attitude, accused. You know what I'm saying? So brothers is like, yo, I ain't got time for this. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think it's right, but that's how we live nowadays. We got to protect ourselves, because we don't want to put ourselves in compromising position to be accused or being disrespected by just asking, how are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
I think it works both ways, right? I think on one hand, you got women that are fed up and tired of dudes' bullshit, right? And then on the other hand, you got females that just really be feeling themselves and just think it's all of that and think everybody want to talk to them. You know what I mean? So they have an attitude of, who are you to try to talk to me? Right? An example, I remember when I first moved to LA, went out to the club or whatever else. I didn't know nothing about LA. And so I asked a young lady, you know, is there anything else to do out here? Because I wasn't used to everything shutting down at 1:30, you know what I'm saying? Last call is at 1:30, you know what I'm saying? And when you're from the South, clubs don't close till like 4, 5 in the morning, you know what I mean? You just getting ready to go to the club at 1:30, right? So when I asked her, and I walked away or whatever, as I was leaving, I was like, excuse me, I was just wondering, I'm new to town. Is there anything else out here to do? Damn, girl, he all thirsty. Look at him. Whoa. I don't even, first of all, I didn't even want your phone number. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get carried away. I was just trying to ask you a regular question, but yeah, because you was feeling yourself. Now, here's my thing, right? You try to be disrespectful to me in public, right? But if I come back at you like that, then I'm looked at as the angry black man arguing with a chick outside for no reason. But then if I walk away, I kind of look like the clown as well for letting a chick talk to you any kind of way. But me being a real man, say what you want to say. I wasn't even trying to come at you like that, show. And then you hear a girl in the background, well, girl, at least he got a motorcycle, at least he got his own. And it's just like, yo, like sometimes I think we so programmed and we're so emotionally wired to bullshit. You know what I mean? I think people be feeling themselves because they got likes. But the fun thing about Instagram is probably the most people who got the most likes don't like themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people who ain't got no like, and they thirsty for likes and will do anything for a like. So they don't love themselves enough because they don't feel approved enough because they ain't got a like. So now they want to go shake their ass and twerk and all these other extra different things on the gram for social media for the likes. So when a straight up brother does know how to approach you and come talk to you, you ain't used to that. It's foreign now. It's so foreign, you know what I mean, for a dude to be a gentleman and someone to be receiving, because now it must come with something. There has to be something attached to that. We can't just have regular conversations anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But let me, with that being said, though, I see now I got to ask this question. Do these modern ladies, because that's what I'm going to call it, do these modern ladies even want a gentleman anymore? Like, I know ladies say they want a gentleman, they want a man to treat me right, blah, 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 blah. But that ain't what we seeing. You know, that's not what we getting when fellas come ask this question. You know, a simple question is as do you cook? That's a simple question, but that turns into a problem. So I'm like, do you really want a gentleman like you say you do? Like, do you really want a good guy like you say you do? Or is it something else that you want? You know, then you want to dictate how he asks the question. Okay, well, the gentleman, he gonna ask the question how he wants to ask the question, because he's a man and he stands in his own. So that's not up for you to dictate how he asks you questions. But at the same time, if you say that's what you want, then it's like there's got to be some type of a difference in your engagement if that's really what you want.
You know, they want, Clay? They want their options. Ladies want options. You know what I mean? I want options. Okay, so you might be cool for this. He might be cool for that. A bag might be over here. 6 figures might be over there. My thug dude might be right here. I want options. And it's almost like the game is in reverse to a certain extent, because I don't want the good dude. You know what I mean? He might be boring. He might not be this. I want the 20% instead of the 80%. I don't want to build. I want the 6 figures. I don't want to work with something. You know what I mean? And if someone is doing that, well, I'm still checking out my options to see if I can have something better. This is just for right now. He's just for the meantime.
Listen, yeah. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give y'all 2 scenarios that I seen, and I thought it was so funny. I went to the store and I watched this young dude hold the door for a woman, and she stood behind him, told him, "No, you go ahead." I'm sitting there like, what? I just looked at her like, what, right? I'm like, this is crazy. He was holding the door for you, and you're gonna tell him to go. Then I came from out the club. The dude walked around to open the door for the girl in the car. She said, "What you doing? Your door's over there." I was like, what? I was like, what? You see what I'm saying? They the only time they want you to do it is when they want you to do it. If you do it outside, they feel like they owe you something. So they don't want you to do nothing that they might have to owe you. You see what I'm saying? So them 2 scenarios always stick in my mind nowadays. I'm like, this is crazy.
I mean, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that women have now been programmed to believe that they have to be alphas, right? Like, I don't need you to open my door. I don't need you to, put your coat over a puddle. Okay, I don't need you to do those things because I can take care of myself. I can open my own door, and they don't, I don't need you to do that. I don't need you. And sometimes, obviously, I'm not speaking for every single woman. I'm speaking in general. So some women this may apply, some women it may not. But I'm just saying, like, I think some women have gotten so used to, I can do bad all by myself. I don't really need you to do anything for me. They run into the door before you can even get your hand on the knob. They already got the other door open and they already walking out the place, like, because their mind, that they're not even prepared to accept that from you, because they're too, I can do it myself. And I think that's a disservice. Like, we've done ourselves a disservice by adopting that way of thinking. I know that is the way of thinking that we were given, but we've done ourselves a disservice adopting that way of thinking. Women, it's okay for you to be softer. I'm not saying be a doormat. That's not what I'm saying. But it's okay for you, and as you should, Erica, like, it's okay for you to be softer. Like, it's okay for you to be quiet sometimes, and you can still speak with conviction without having an attitude or popping your neck, or like, it's okay for you to be confident and still be able to, when a real man, not a clown, when a real man is around, you can still be confident and be every bit of your self-assured, confident self. And still, when a real man comes around, knows that it's time for you to, okay, let me walk beside this man. I don't have to try to walk in front of him. I'm going to walk beside him. And, we are a team, not, I have to assert myself. I have to assert my dominance because I've been doing this and I've been doing that and I've been doing this. And ain't no dude finna come in and, just think he finna run nothing over here because I've been doing, I think that we need to learn the value in owning our roles. Like Black women, we're tired. Like part of this attitude that we have sometimes, and no, I'm not saying angry Black woman. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is the short-tempered nature that we sometimes take on. Part of that is because we're tired. We are tired of being everything for everybody every day. But you know what, ladies? When we get an opportunity to not do that, we still do it. Like, let that man open the door. Let that man ask you a question about if you cook. Let that man, audition you, for his helpmate and be his helpmate. Want to be his help. What that basically means is you're helping him, he's helping you. You have help. You don't have to do it by yourself. Like, it's okay to accept that help and adjust, because maybe you have had to do it all on your own, but adjust yourself to allow someone to come in and help you. And then when they come in to help you, ladies, don't tell them how to help. Let them help you. And you accept the help. We're horrible at accepting compliments and accepting help.
I like to say something too, because you think with conversation, this is what most women understand. Conversations will help you get to this thing that I call that women got this silent strength with them. You know what I'm saying? You get to know your man. So guess what? So when you out, guess what? You ain't got to say nothing to your man. You just look over there. And then y'all have the understanding, because other guys, we always say, oh, you whip, we laugh, but we understand that's a silent strength that they have. They don't have to say words. They just got to give each other looks because they took the time to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you got that girl, hey, what you doing over there? They ain't got that silent strength. They can't look at their mouth. They got to shut it down. You see what I'm saying? Right. So guess what? You need to figure out how to get your silent strength back. And the only way you can do that is get conversation to get to know somebody. Because guess what? What's yours, you don't have to argue about. You don't have to. All you have to do is like, okay, look at him. He going to gradually get away, get back in line. He going to do the same to you. You're going to get back in line. And guess what? Nobody know there was even a problem. Because guess what? It's a silent strength between y'all. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, I can feel that, man. And yeah, like I said, I think, Chloe touched on, like I said, I'm gonna throw the round of applause on that. Yeah, Chloe touched on some good points, right? And I think that is definitely a piece of this, right? So I think we have a situation where, some of our ladies are tired, right? And like I said, we can, kind of tend to harbor these attitudes, if you will. And then let's say that just gets layered on top of innocent interactions. Like you were saying, C Prince, ladies not even wanting you to open the door. I've never known a lady who didn't want a man to open the door. Yeah, unless y'all had just got done arguing and she was trying to open that thing and slam it before you came in or something like that. But I don't know too many ladies who don't want you to open the door. I mean, young and old. Like, I haven't heard that. You know what I'm saying? Chloe was talking about, laying down the coat over a puddle. I said, I don't know too many ladies who have a problem, with a dude trying to do something to protect them, in a certain scenario, right? So when we get to a point where we are kind of resisting or rejecting those things, or when a guy asks us to, asks a lady a question to say, hey, do you enjoy this, or have you ever been here, or I'm looking for a workout partner because I'm just starting to work out. I'm trying to see if you want to come join me, and then the first thing that comes to your mind is, well, what, you calling me fat? And it's like, wait a minute, the brother just asked you, do you want to join him at the gym as he start lifting his weights, so y'all can do something together. But if it's laced with that frustration, with that, that act of being tired, with that attitude, then that's what you get.
Hold on.
So yeah.
Hold on. I'm tired. I'm tired of y'all BS too. I'm tired of the games that y'all want to play. I'm tired about the 6 figures. I'm tired of the attitude. I'm tired of everything always got to be your way. I'm tired of always having to be the one to want to listen. I'm tired of y'all not wanting to do y'all part. I mean, I'm tired of y'all games, y'all players, y'all be playing the field, y'all be doing what y'all do. Y'all come with y'all drama, y'all come with y'all baggage, y'all come with y'all BS too. So that's a two-way street. Don't get me wrong. Ladies, do y'all have the right to be upset and tired of a lot of dudes BS? Absolutely. But the same way there's some trash dudes out there, there's some trash women out there just as well. You know what I mean? I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of that starts at the home. Some people are looking at the world from broken glasses because of what happened to them as children. So I'm disregarding them. You know what I mean? Because I understand if you was touched at home, you might be more promiscuous or whatever else, or your views of life is different because of someone robbed you of your purity. I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about exactly what I'm talking about. And if the shoe fit, have an attitude. Good. Go look in the mirror and go think about it. I don't care. Have your attitude. So what? And at the same time, you got a lot of dudes that want to act like females. You got a lot of dudes that don't want to do their part. You know what I mean? Let's go all the way around the board. You know what? Sometimes the women want to act like a man in a relationship because you ain't acting like the man you're supposed to be in a relationship. Sometimes roles are switching and genders are switching and powers are switching because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. And if you ain't gonna play your part, somebody got to act like the male. Somebody got to be the polar opposite. So which side is you actually really being? I mean, we got to talk about the whole thing full circle. Yes, there are trash dudes out there, ladies. Yes, y'all are tired of being hurt. So y'all do got an attitude. Y'all do got this. But guess what? You can't treat everybody like the other dude who did you wrong. Fellas, you can't just be heartbroken over the last chick who hurt, you know what I'm saying, that did you wrong, that hurt you, because this new woman ain't her. You can't take your old situation and make your old situation a new situation because you'll never have a new situation. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end right here, right? My homegirl used to say this. She said, if you always looking in your past, you'll never see your future because eventually your past will become your future because you never look towards your future. And what I mean by that is if you always looking at your past traumas, your past pain, that will always be the next person's burden. And they'll become the punching bag because you never was able to resolve the issue with the last person. And now you treating them like as if they're the last person who hurt you and they ain't did nothing wrong to you. But because you can't take out your frustration nowhere else, now you want to vent on the person who want to love you, who want to treat you right, who want to be there for you, who want to be all of that. But you can't see that because you can't see past your traumas.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right now. You know, women say, women say they tired, you know, and I understand you say you tired, but look where you go fishing at. You see what I'm saying? You can't be tired if you go back to the same fish hole that give you the same dirty fish that you know what I'm saying? You can't be tired. You can't, there's other ponds you go into, but you go back to the same pond, the club, the bars, the street corners, your friend's house. And guess what? If your friend's trifling and you trifling, you're gonna attract trifling men. So guess what? You can't be too tired when you ain't changed your own situation. Because guess what? I used to go with the hood boogers. I ain't gonna lie. I like them thug roughneck women. I ain't gonna lie. But then I said, shoot, I can't live like that. This girl drank more than I drink. You know what I'm saying? She spent more than I, and she threw the first punch. Are you serious? We all going to jail. And I might get beat up because she hit somebody I even know. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? If you still fishing in the pond of deadbeat dads, one-hit quitters, you know what I'm saying? Broke Negroes staying with their mamas, guess what? That's your fault because you need to go find you a new pond that's got some educated, respectful men. But you won't do it because guess what? That what turns you on. Like I said, you living for the moment and not the memories. Look, the now and no future. Because guess what? The brother you date ain't gonna get Social Security. That's how it's gonna go down.
Okay. I don't disagree with you that as women we need to lift up a standard. I don't disagree with you. But let's just be honest, okay? Highly educated men can be trash too. There's some trashy, highly educated men who, because they are highly educated, they feel like they can do whatever they want because they're highly educated. These men who make good money and they have something going on for themselves, you know, and they know that they're a minority because they know that they are in high demand. Then some of those men, they use that to their advantage because they know they're in high demand. They know that there's not a lot of dudes out there like them. So yeah, those highly educated men, they will do the same thing as the broke dude. Okay, they might be a little nicer about it. They can maybe afford to take you to nicer places while they're cheating on you. They're buying you a Tiffany bracelet, and they buying the side chick the same Tiffany bracelet. So, like, please understand that, you know, them dudes, sometimes they just elevate the game. You know, they can afford to elevate it. So we're not gonna act like it's got anything to do specifically with your education. It's really about the dude. And I also would like to say, and this is for the ladies. I'm asking this question to you, C Prince, on behalf of the ladies. I'm married, but this is on behalf, and we taking notes.
Okay.
So where's those ponds?
All right, check this out. You got to find your own pond. I can't tell you where to go fishing at. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was looking for my pond, I wouldn't have found my own pond. I ain't going to tell y'all. Look, because guess what? Some of the ponds got some food, like it's like fool's gold. You know what I'm saying? You go in there and you pull out that diamond. It's not what it's supposed to be. You throw that thing back. But I tell you like this, I agree with what you said. It's not education, it's about morals. You got to find a pond with a lot of dudes with morals and standards. Because guess what? When I went fishing, I looked for a woman who knew her worth. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem. If you don't know your worth as a woman, because I'm telling you, men are attracted to women that know their worth. Even, you know what I'm saying? Even the dogs, even the scum bucket men. Because you know what? They always like, that could be wifey. And they stuck. They stuck because she know her worth. When a woman knows her worth, man, that's probably the most powerful thing in a relationship. That a woman know her worth, and she's gonna make the man hold them stands to keep that worth there. You see what I'm saying?
But yeah, but that brings up a good question, man. Do a lot of ladies these days know their worth? I mean, do a lot of fellas know their worth these days, to be honest with you, man? Let's say, because, you know, a lot of folks are validating their worth off what other folks say. Yeah. So do folks really know what their worth is? Based on you making that statement, do they really know?
I think women know their worth. I just think they lowered their standards because, you know what? It's easy to be accepted. It's easy just to get along and stuff like that. Because guess what? You got to think about it. If the only motivation for most men nowadays, the younger generation, I'm not saying the whole generation, is to smoke weed and play video games. You know, they go to 9 to 5, come home, smoke weed, play video games and stuff. Because I see it all the time. And I'm like, I don't understand how they do it, but hey, I'm not knocking it. It's good for you, and nobody else is complaining. Do you?
Back up off the video game community, see Prince. Back up off the video game community, see Prince.
Look, I'm saying,
I'm at home. I ain't in the club. I ain't in the streets wilding. I ain't selling drugs. Back up off the video game community, bro.
Listen, what I'm saying is this. You know, I just think that the women, you know, when they did hold their standards, they wasn't getting what they wanted from the man. Now that they lower their standards, they don't expect nothing from that man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, like I said, if they know the man's, hey, I'm going to this situation to be with this man, I already expect him to be trash. So if he is trash, cannot accept it. As long as he do the basic things, and I know you're gonna jump on me, but the women has lowered their standards because guess what? If the women elevated their standards, men would change.
Oh, okay. So go ahead, Chloe.
I mean, I just wanted to jump in and say, I do think there's some truth to that. I do think that if women elevated their standards, men would be forced to elevate. They would have to, or they wouldn't get any women. And let's just be honest, men want to be with women and women want to be with men. So absolutely, I do agree with that. I would also like to challenge men, since we are being fair. So, okay, I'll flip it and I'll say, men, I believe that if you own your position as the leaders in your relationships, in your homes, in your communities, I believe that if you own that position, own it, like step up and own that position, that eventually the women will fall in line. They won't have a choice, because if they want to be a part of your life, if they want to be a part of your communities, if they want to be, they will fall in line. I'm not saying it will be easy, because a lot of women have assumed the roles of leaders because some of them have had to. But I believe that if men step into their roles and own their roles as leaders, that women will then be forced to accept their roles as the complements, as the partners, not the subservient second, rate person, but no, the partners, the complements. I think that women would do that because we'd see a community of men who lead, and women will be like, okay, they're leading. Let me go see how I can help that, which is what we're supposed to do. Women bring very unique qualities to a situation that men need, just like men bring, certain things to a situation that women need. That's how we balance each other out. So I think that's missing. And I also would challenge every woman. Do I think that women know their worth? Yes, I think that women, I won't say all though. Some women don't know their worth. Like some women have, I don't know if it's because of things that they've had happen to them in their lives, so they don't feel good about themselves enough to understand that regardless of what you've been through, you are still worthy. But I think that in general, women know that they bring something unique and special and awesome to the table. But I would challenge each and every woman, and I would do the exercise myself. I'm challenging us as women to make a list. Let's just start with 10 things that you bring to a table. If a dude asked you right now, what are you bringing to the table? I'm bringing financial resources. I know how to fix things. I cut grass. I do this. I do all the maintenance, all those types of things that men are known to do. Okay, I'm bringing all of that to the table. So what are you bringing to the table? I want women to go and make that list, 10 things. And guess what, ladies? You cannot put your college degree on it.
Ooh.
Not one. That's not one. I'm not saying it's not a quality. Not saying it's not important. Not saying it's not, you shouldn't be proud of that. I ain't saying none of that. I'm saying in a relationship, I want to know what you bring to the table.
Look,
I want to know what you're bringing to the table, because it can't just be that you got a degree. Not saying that it's nothing wrong with your degree. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, as women, we do have a different value add in a relationship. It's not all about our money in a relationship. As for women, we bring in something a little different. We're looking to the man for the main resources. Doesn't mean we can't. Doesn't mean that some ladies aren't put in a situation where they have to. Not saying any of that. I'm simply saying that I want to know what you bring to the table outside of your degree. I want to know what you bring to the table outside of your finances. I want to know as a woman, because you're a woman, and women, we are special. So I want to know what's special about you, not your degree. I want to know what's special about you. Like, I want you 10 things. Please don't put that degree on there, because you need to know yourself. You need to know yourself, because we can't eat your degree. We can't eat it. Your degree can't change diapers. Your degree cannot fix boo-boos when the baby fall, or cure the sick baby. Okay? Your degree can't build the brand for a family. Your degree can't do that. So I want to know, what do you bring to the table? Because see, some of this, women being triggered by these questions, is because they don't want to be asked them, because then they have to be accountable for something. Asking a question of you holds you accountable for something that you either do or don't have, do or don't know. And because we've spent so much time as a community of women, Black women, focusing on our education, not saying it's a bad thing, but we have focused on it a lot for various reasons. When the questions are outside of that, what do you mean? I'm a PhD. It's like, that's awesome. That's awesome that you've been dedicated and focused enough to get a PhD. That's awesome. I champion you, sis. But what else? Because that man is going to go, oh yeah, that's cool. You got a PhD? Okay. I'm marrying you though, not your PhD. So what can I get from you? And ladies, I want you to be able to answer that question, and I want you to be able to answer that question honestly. We need to know what resources we bring to the table. We need to, we have, I don't know. I'm not going to keep going on about it. I'm just saying, as women, we bring a very highly valuable, unique set of characteristics to a relationship, and we need to know what they are. No man should be asking us this and we don't know, and we mad because he asking us basically to do what we supposed to be doing, and we like, wow, I'm a PhD.
Well, I got some more questions. I want to know, because some of y'all be capping. Why is it that the man with the bag, you'll deal with his BS a lot longer than you will do with the good brother who actually wants you, if it ain't about the money? I'll wait.
Because at the end of the day, men still bring resources because we still want the resources. We still want it. We can say, oh, listen.
So the man with the bag who don't want to treat you right, who really don't love you, you'll deal with all his BS. But the man who actually love you, if you piss him off, that's the one you don't got time for.
Because of how we value,
So do you love me or do you love the bag?
Right there,
right there you go. Because of how we value our men these days. I don't agree with it, but we value men based off of what they can bring. Like, if you can bring, that's why all these women's running around here talking about they want a 6-figure man.
Okay, I'm finna go in now. This the setup, Quay. So I went out, right? Because I threw that out. I threw that out. I'm ready. Let me get my neck rolls in. I went out one time, right? And excuse my background, those be cool. I'm at my man's house and stuff. But I went out one time, right? And when I took this young lady out or whatever else, it was cool. It was just like, yo, let's just talk or whatever else. It wasn't no date. It wasn't no nothing, right? So the girl told me, Quay and Charles, I remember we had this conversation, see, Prince, because I called you about it because it confused me, right? And I had to call my mother about this situation because it confused me. The girl told me, Quay, well, I'm used to a man paying for the first 5 days. I said, oh, really? Well, I'm used to smashing on the first 5 days. And she said, why would you say that to me? I said, exactly. Why would you say that to me? How do you even know I want to go out with you again after this? But yet you looking at my wallet and making it seem like it's about my wallet and it ain't about the quality of who I am. But when I made it about your body, then you want to make it seem like I'm wrong. So it's okay for you to disrespect me and act like I'm supposed to be your ATM. But then if I treat you in the same manner and make it about your body, then you want to act like I'm talking to you crazy. No. What are we doing here? And if you present yourself in the first place like that, here's the deal. There's a difference between appreciating and expecting, ladies. I don't mind paying for a date. Don't get it wrong. But there's a difference between you appreciating what I'm doing for you, because I ain't got to do nothing, and you actually appreciating the fact that I want to do it for you. Because when you expect it, then, I mean, what's the point of it? There's no appreciation behind it. There's no thankfulness behind it. You know what I mean? And vice versa, because I want somebody who's going to want to invest in me just as well.
Right, facts. But I think that's a part of the double standard, man. So just using your example, it was okay for her to ask you that question, right? She didn't think twice about asking you that question. But when you returned and you asked her a question, then she got offended.
Now, mind you, I was being funny when I said it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but I purposely said it so she could see how ignorant she sounded when she said it to me. Now, Charles ain't lying. I called Charles about this.
Yeah, he did.
I called him. And I was like, Mom, there's a rule where you pay for the first 5 days. Where did this come from? Yeah, I mean, I ain't never heard no mistake. She's like, baby, run. Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making. Like I said, she didn't think twice about asking you that question or telling you about those 5 dates you're supposed to be paying for. But as soon as you responded to her with the question, then she took offense to it. And see, this is what the topic is about tonight. Like, why is it okay for a lady to ask you questions? Because I know a lady, she wants to know, can you handle business, right? So summing that up, you know what I'm saying? If we got a house, do you cut grass? Do you paint stuff? Do you fix cars? You know, when my oil get dirty, can you, either change my oil or take it to the shop? You know, if my little engine light is on, can you take a look at it, or can you take it to the mechanic? Like, she want to know these things, and she gonna ask you. She's going to ask. But then, like I said, look at this post.
You're gonna take out the trash. You're gonna open the door for
She want to know. Do you kill spiders? Do you shovel snow? Like, she want to know that.
But now, if I'm like, can you cook? Can you clean? Do you like to fold clothes? You know what I mean?
Offended. She's gonna be. That's what I'm saying. They getting offended when you ask those questions, and that's why I said this.
PhD.
Right. Right. Exactly. And I said that's the issue. I said I expect the lady to ask a man questions. Right. You should want to know what that man is about before you go, too far into that situation. But that should be equally accepted for a man. Yep, a man should want to know what a lady's about before he goes deep into that situation too. So why would a lady be getting offended because that man wants to know about her? Because essentially, somebody jumped on me about making this statement. Essentially, dating is an interview.
It is.
Right. Literally, you are interviewing somebody to see. Of course. Yeah, you're interviewing somebody to see if you're compatible. If you guys can communicate, if you guys can work together successfully, if they're talking about building and growing, like you're interviewing somebody. Somebody jumped on, had a response about that. They didn't like me saying that. You shouldn't look at it.
I'm glad you said it, because I'm gonna tell you like this. Even in the interview, you lying. You on the other side of the mother table, and you lying, because that ain't you. That's who you want that person to think you are. That's your representative, but that is not you. So you'll do things out of your normal character to show that you want to impress this person. You're not being your actual self. So they fall in love with someone who you're not, and then you struggle to keep it up. And then when he sees the real you and who you really are, then the issues come in, because you never showed who you really were in the first place.
That's right.
And the funny thing about it is, when you do get in a relationship and things are working out and you finally did get to learn the person, you're still wondering if the grass is green on the other side. But what you don't understand is no matter what grass you find, there's gonna be dirt up underneath it. But yet, because he told you about the turf and how it was watered and everything else, you fell for it. See, any dude can sit back. Let me put y'all on the game, ladies, or anybody. Anybody could be the shoulder crying. It's easy. You know why? Because you telling me everything. You telling me all your problems, and all I gotta do is say, "Really? That's what you're going through? You shouldn't have to go through. That's crazy. I can't believe you being treated like that. I would never, even if I just had the opportunity. You know what I mean?" See, you know what? That's your value. You guys must not be vibrating on the same frequency. Your vibrations is off or whatever else, and you're out of alignment, and you're not spiritually inclined with this person. And the way God is just saying it, you need to separate yourself so you can find you, sis. You need to elevate and find you, queen. You need somebody that's going to support you and being, look, you know what? Because if he don't want to do it, what are you doing today? You want to go out? I would just love the opportunity to go out with you and just show you what it's like for someone to actually vibrate with you, because you probably had nobody vibrate with you and be on that frequency in a long time. And I just feel like, you know, based off this conversation and how vulnerable you are, let me tell you how vulnerable I am. In my last relationship, I went through this, and girl, he's being vulnerable with me. He's telling me his problems, and I told him mine. And we was sitting up there, and we was just sharing. And then next thing you know, you in his bedroom. And then when the grass is cut, you see that this joker wasn't no different. No different. But yet you told him everything, the secrets to your heart. It ain't hard to walk that path because you wanted to overshare. You wanted to say this. You wanted to say that. You thought the conversation was different. But guess what? That ain't that person. You ain't seen that person. And that, you know what's so crazy? And that person wasn't even in the gym with you. That person wasn't even in the gym making all the buckets. See, I don't want nobody to love me no more, bro. I just want your loyalty. Because loyalty is something totally different. Loyalty is something totally different. You know what I mean?
No,
I
it's
mean, don't get me wrong,
not.
because loyalty is different than love. I'm not saying you can't have love. I'm not saying you can't have love. Well, you can shake hands, do your thing. I ain't mad at you. I respect it. I'm just saying there's something different with the price of loyalty.
Don't let me start.
Don't get me wrong. You can, because guess what? A person could be like, I'm in love with you today, and I don't love you no more tomorrow. Oh, I can love this, I can love that. But you know, I'm not saying love isn't real. What I'm saying is the combination of love and loyalty is different than just love by itself.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like this has come up before.
Yeah,
The thing is, it's not. There's nothing wrong with just love. There's nothing wrong with just love. The problem is people don't love anymore.
That's fair too.
It's selfish. The love is selfish. How can you truly love somebody selfishly? It's selfish love. That's why it's not loyal. When you love somebody, like when you really, really love somebody, even if the relationship go left, there's still something, but the loyalty can still be there between y'all. Even if y'all grew apart, y'all just honestly grew in different directions, and you like, dang, we got together, we had real love between us. But the person I am now and the person that you are now is just like two completely different people, but I still like love you. So you can call me any day, time, night, whatever. I'm here for you. Got you. But we just can't be in a relationship no more. That's when people have real love, when they have that, because real love will inspire loyalty. You be loyal to that person because you really love them. But if you loving somebody selfishly, if the love is not coming from a genuine place, then it's not, and it's selfish love. It's I love you today because you're doing this, this, and this. I love you today because you feel this need and this need. I love you today because things are like this. But let any of those things change, and I don't love you the same anymore. That's not real love. And there's a lot of fake love out here. There's a lot of fake, selfish, disingenuous love. And that's why you got this new movement of people saying, well, I'll take loyalty. And I think it's sad. It's sad because it's just a sign of the times. Like people are saying that, unfortunately, because they've experienced this fake love. And so now they like, shoot, it's the loyalty for me, because they like people out here not really, they saying they love you, but anytime there's a little bit of a storm, they like, oh no, I ain't signed up for no storms.
That's fair. Here's my thing. I don't need nobody just to love me when I'm winning, bro. I want you to love me in the mud, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Something that we can grow and build on in that or whatever else. And I think that sometimes we, as a culture, you know what I mean? we allow systemically things to manipulate what is reality, and it ain't reality. I think we lost sense of what reality really is. I do agree, Chloe, that we lost sense of what true love is. Because true love, loyalty coincides inside that. It lives inside that realm or whatever else. So I agree with that, sister, whatever else. Because love will be tested even if you're not with the person, if you can still show up the same way. You know what I mean? Because it's not, see, most people think love is just a word, but love isn't a word, it's an action. It's a real action because you have to put action behind what you are saying. You know what I mean? Do your actions show that you really love me? Even if I don't love you, do you love me back? You know what I mean? That's why even the dog's loyalty is interesting, because you could treat a dog like nothing, but the dog will still show up and want to lick you in your face. You know what I mean? You know, it's hard. That's like, does real love exist in 2021? And I'm not saying it don't. You know what I mean? And no, I'm not saying that you have to accept anything. What's up, baby? I'm not saying that you have to accept anything, Erica, or whatever else. I'm saying you have to have a standard and you have to know you, right? I'm not saying to allow anyone to treat you any type of way. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is back to what Quay is saying, is about that dating process, about that filtering system, about who you do decide to give your time to. That's why the Bible does say, if we wanted to go biblically, protect your all heart with all due diligence, not to go too far with that. But sometimes we give our heart to any and everybody and then wonder why it's been stampled on, or we get to the point where we're in lonely. Like, when is being lonely a bad thing? When is finding yourself just a bad thing? But we've allowed people to put loneliness in a box. We allow people to find self-gratification or growing up and getting your ducks in order so that way you can be loved. Because how can you love someone else and you don't know how to love yourself yet? How can you ask for someone to love you? You don't even know how. If you don't know how, if you don't know how to love you, how am I supposed to know how to love you? I can only love you how I think you want to be loved. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean I don't love you. That just means I don't know how to love you because you don't know how you want to be loved yet. It's not that I'm not willing to put in that effort. It's not the fact that I'm not willing to make those changes. But if you're not certain of the change that you want, how can I make the adjustment?
Let me tell you something. I'm going to challenge the women tonight. And I normally don't endorse nothing like that. I'm going to endorse this movie called Ray Charles. Because, you know, this is a blind freaking man, right? A hoish man. Everybody knows he was a hoe. But guess what? He had one woman he would not leave. Guess what? He didn't leave that woman. He seen the strength in that woman being blind. You see what I'm saying? He didn't have to see her. Actually, he felt her. You know, he was vibing and stuff. Watch the movie. I'm telling you, watch the movie because, you know, when his child died, he said, and he told her, yeah, I already did that. You see what she did? You didn't pull nothing over me. I knew it all along. Everybody called that a sucker, but guess what? She didn't leave him. It wasn't that she didn't leave him. He didn't leave her. You see what I'm saying? He didn't leave her because he knew, regardless of all his foolishness, he knew where he needed to be at. And I ain't saying women take that. I'm just saying you watch the movie and you understand this movie. But I also challenge the women this. I said, check this out. I guarantee you, you can't give me 10 role models living today for any woman. Because guess what? The hoes are taking over. The hoes are taking over. The side chick has taken over. So you name me 10 women. I guarantee nobody in the comments, hey, you ain't going to name 10 women. Guess what? You probably get 3. You might get 4, and you're lying. You know, you're going to get a pass on the 4th one to lie. But guess what? If you go to 10, guess what? The only way you're going to get 10 is you name the one person 10 times. Because guess what? The hoes have took it over. You know what? The side chicks had took it over. You know what? The booger had took it over.
What?
10 women that do what? Wait, I got to name 10 women that do what?
10 role model women. And they can't be dead. Because guess what? Because we can name some dead role models, but they ain't doing jack worse now.
That's what you ain't finna do. We ain't finna do that now.
No, you can't name. Listen, name 10 live role models. Not Beyonce can't be one. You know what I'm saying? Carly B.
I don't know what Beyonce do in her private time.
Alicia Rashard.
Oh yeah, she can hit right now, ain't she? She can smash. Yep, go on.
That's one.
Name them.
He said that's homework for the ladies, though, man. That's homework for the ladies.
No. Shirley Caesar.
Go ahead. Listen.
Dr. Ife Williams.
Go on, Los.
Michelle Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, I mean, there's plenty of power.
Oh, don't give me that plenty stuff. Keep naming.
My mother. There's plenty of powerful women out there. We're not finna act like we ain't got beautiful black women out there doing their job. That's what
I'm just saying.
We can name 10. Okay. So we can name 10. We can name 10. We can name 10. But your point is, okay, so I'm gonna look past the sense of, I'm gonna look past the sense
of an amazing woman. What we doing out here in these streets?
Yeah, I'm gonna look past the sensationalism of your comment, because I think I'm gonna go to the spirit of what you was trying to say. I think you was trying to say that, unfortunately, and this is general, obviously, there are a lot of women who have abandoned the traditional thought of and the traditional role of women and have assumed this new liberty to exercise their options. And there is a lot of women and men, so we're not gonna say it's just women, but there is a lot of women who are exercising their options. Just like there's men who are exercising their options. That's what they call it now, exercising their options. So nobody don't, like, people don't want to be locked up no more. Like they want to be able to, we used to call it have your cake and eat it too.
100, Charles. Women sick of dude shit, bro. We used to glorify men being out there wilding and everything else, and now you got to look at it like this. They want to be free. You have women like out there with Meg Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying? Rob a nigga, get this, blah, 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 take this, take that. And that's the new wave, bro. You know what I mean? Women want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be treated like that. Women want to do the same thing that men have been doing a long time. But here's the thing, yo. I feel like this, though, personally. I feel like, and y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I don't care. Y'all know me better than that. I feel like if anything is going to go back right, we got to lead the way, period. And we got to stop with all these weak-ass excuses as men. Personally, we got to start being men again. I don't care I don't care what you say. I'm talking about, for me, my perspective, my eyes, about men stepping up and men being men actually being the covering, men actually showing up, men stop being, not all, I'm not saying that men aren't doing that, but we do got a lot of, here's the thing, I hate when we do the black highlight, like all black men are one way because of other people doing dumb stuff. I didn't say you said anything. I ain't speaking for you, I'm speaking for me. Go ahead. So what I'm saying is, I hate how we paint all black men as deadbeats, gangsters, want to be hoes, want to be this, want to be that, fuck boys, and whatever they want to say. No, there's a lot of amazing men that don't get the credit that they need to get. But at the same time, throughout history, we do need to address that as men and hold our other brothers accountable. Accountability goes a long way. And I think men just need to start being men again. And we need to start leading again. And at the end of the day, if she don't want to fall in line, oh well. The right one will fall in line. And then eventually that will be the new trend. That'll be the new trend. But we can't become the trend if we're not living what we're saying, bro. You know what I mean? Me included. I'm not excluding myself. I ain't all of that or whatever else. I'm just working to become better. So I'm just saying we need to start being men again. Men need to be men. And
that's on that.
Yeah, but I think, Los, you bring up a good point, man. And and I gotta take the route of that goes both ways. I think as men, I think as men and women, we all need to understand we need to get our ish together. I think we got a lot of situations now where men think they be on point and they not. I think we got a lot of situations now where ladies just swear up and down they on point, they not. And that's a lot of what's going on. So, we got men trying to come at women to engage with the women, and the women blowing off the men like, you ain't on my level. Then we got ladies who really ain't on that level while they blowing off men. They really ain't even on that level to be blowing nobody off. And that's part of the problem as well. So now you got good guys being pushed away, because, like I said, somebody has the wrong perspective or the wrong view on how they really looking out here. And at the end of the day, everybody need to take a look in the mirror, because at the end of the day, let's say we've gotten so far away. And I have to take it back. We've gotten so far away from a lot of traditional things that worked well for us.
Yep.
And I think we need to restore some of those traditional things. Like I said, I think because we have strayed away so far from those things, like I said, we just all over the place. And like I said, we're just seeing it. Yeah, we're seeing it play out, and it's not playing out for the better. So I'll leave it at that.
But
Quay, give me 5 bombs before I drop this.
oh, you don't do something.
That's why
All
I
right.
got to do nothing no more, because we do it to ourselves. We allow the systemic oppression and the racism and the system that they put in place to continue to destroy us. And if we having conversations like this about us, with us, by us, why do I got to do anything else to set you up already? You've already took the bait. You've already did it. You've made my job easier. I've only showed you, and you are only proof of the results of what we put in place has worked. It's worked, and it's still working. It's still affecting you, and you wonder why you don't have a seat at the table. You wonder why you can't get no laws changed. You wonder why you can't get no unity. You still don't know who you are. So all I'm saying is I'm able to sit back and laugh. We are the reality TV show. We are the joke. We are the only culture that still don't get it, that still hates on us, that still talks about us in rap music and everything else. Well, I can sit back and say, look at you. Go ahead and act a fool. Look at you. While I rob and pillage your community of all your talents, your gift, your women, your men, put you against each other, colorism, and everything else. I don't have to do anything because y'all so frustrated. Now I've got you so frustrated with all the BS and all the rules of the United States. When you go home, you don't have room for love. You don't have time for love. You know why? Because you're so stressed out. Will you be alive? Will you come home? Will you make it safely? Police brutality, can't get a job, redlining, Wall Street. You can't storm the Capitol building and act a fool and everything else. You can't do this. You can't do that. And by the time you get home, you ain't got time to be loving. You so stressed out, you don't know what love is. So when you look at your partner, you so frustrated, the only person you can take the frustration out on is your partner. And then I can come in and say, hey, shorty, look at my pocket. Look at my bank account. Look what I could do for you. He don't know how to treat you. Your culture don't appreciate you. They want to label you an angry black woman. You always mad. You ain't this. When was the last time you been on a yacht? When was the last time you been treated this way? Look at this and look what I could do. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, black man, let me take you from your queen. Black men ain't anyway. And then they get online and they'll tell sisters, that's why we taking all y'all men from you. That's why we doing this. That's why we doing that. And they get thousands of likes, world star views everywhere. And we falling into the same bullshit because we don't want to look at what the reality is in the bigger game that's being played. And that's why we don't have the unity that we're supposed to have in the community. How can we have unity in the community if we can't have unity in our home? If we can't have unity in our relationships? We wonder why our children grow up broken. We wonder why our children so mad. We wonder why we can't get out of the system and the systemic oppression that we in. How? We can't even love each other. We don't even want to love each other because they've manipulated our emotions so bad that we hate each other to a certain extent. Well, we'll never get a seat at the table. We'll never see the justice. We'll never see the peace. How you gonna ask somebody for peace and you don't want peace for yourself? I'm sorry, my bad. Y'all done got.
I see somebody told me to wake up.
Yeah, that was Shirley messing with you, man. She messing with you, man.
Look, I'm woke. I understand this. I'm very woke, and me and King, we always have conversations.
That's my mentor.
Hey, look, I can talk about things, but I just don't do.
You don't got to prove your wokeness, Charles. You good? You ain't got to prove.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I just don't do it because there's not a format for this. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to talk about things that shouldn't be talked about or that should be talked about amongst.
Yes, you do on this platform. Yes, you do. That's what me and Quay
you got to receive
it. Me and Quay built this so we can start getting the truth out there and have real conversations. I mean, I know I just said a lot. I know I just said a lot. But really, if we really look at this conversation is so simple-minded thinking, and all that it shows is exactly what Kwesi said. How far are we away from the essence of our truth and who we really are? And if we strayed away from that path, how can we ever get what we say we want? Look. If you have a child that ain't listening, that's always fighting, that's always arguing, are you going to reward that child? No. But yet we behave like the child, but yet we want the blessings. It's not going to happen. We got to get back to loving one another. We got to stop being so quick to cancel one another. We got to get back to respecting our ladies. We got to get back to respecting our men. You know what I mean? We got ladies running around calling each other bitches. But yet, if we say bitch, now you mad? How you mad? You just said that. You wearing a shirt to say bitch. You wearing a shirt to say slut. You wearing a shirt to say hoe. Brothers, we running around here with our drawers all out, calling each other niggas and everything else. And if you step on my shoes and we do this and do that, we got so much toxicity in our system. It is sickening that we can't see the truth of who we really are. Period. And if we so stuck in if we are the frog in the boiling pot, if we're the frog in the boiling pot of all this toxicity in America, how can we ever get back to the essence of seeing each other and loving each other? That's why I think it's so beautiful to have Quay and Chloe on here. They don't always have to agree, but they disagree out of love. When was the last time we was able to disagree with love?
Facts.
I'm gonna say this. You know, I think about this. You know, I always preach to woman. Everybody know that. I had a strong mother. You know what I'm saying? I had a strong grandmother. I had a strong great grandmother. They was always not taking away from no men. Understand? I'm not taking away from men, because we have our own duties in life to do. We cover financially and the protector and stuff like that. But your heart of your family has always been the woman, regardless. A lot of people think that when I say the woman is the backbone of our family, they think I'm taking from the man. I'm not taking from the man. Because guess what? We out in the workforce, somebody's got to keep the home together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this old 60 and 50 style, because guess what? To this day, if my sons call, they call their mother, and then I get the back burner, and I'm like, why don't you call me? You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, why don't you call me? I can give you the same advice, but guess what? You know what I'm saying? I do things different. They want that, hey, mom, what should I do? You know what I'm saying? Dad is going to be responsible. Like, look, go knock that dude head off or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to feel like a little violation. See what I'm saying? So at the same time, we got to remember, yes, we cover our household, but the women got to understand this. If we cover it, who's the heart? Women don't want to be the heart no more. Because guess what? They want to be men. They want to bring in the money. They want to, you know what I'm saying, do everything we do and say that they do it. Understand this.
Go.
You got to understand. I never said take the man to cover the house. I said, woman, you got to start being the heart. You forgot. If the heart don't beat, there's nothing moving. And that's what y'all forgot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and I would have to agree with that, man. Like I said, we have to get back to these roles. I say, because roles do tie into these situations. You know, like I said, you know, some of those points that you just made, see Prince. I mean, ladies used to wear some of those things as a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? Holding a family together, raising, or basically their part in raising successful kids or successful children, preparing meals for the family, stuff as simple as having a clean house. Like, ladies used to take pride in that. You know what I'm saying? I remember them Saturday mornings. I'm gonna put my mom out there. I remember them Saturday mornings with the Nita Baker popping. You know what I'm saying? While mama was in the crib, getting the crib all, like I said, she was proud when the crib was cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? She was proud when folks came over, company came over, and the house was clean. Like I said, ladies used to wear those things as a badge of honor. But it's like nowadays, those things are frowned upon. It's like, oh, you got a clean house? Like, is that all you do? That's all you do is clean houses? Your man came home from work, you cooked him a meal. Oh, you his slave now? You just do whatever he tell you to do? It's like, wait a minute. So let's say things have just totally changed. Even the men get talked about. Oh, you go out, you working 12 hours a day, why you working so hard? It's so much stuff going on nowadays, man. But let's say we got to get back to some of our traditional ways of thinking. Like I said, I think there was success in a lot of those processes, and like I said, we need to get that back. Let's say, because at the end of the day, our strength really is in our family units, right? And in order to get to a family unit, I'm just gonna say this to the ladies. In order to get to a family unit, ladies, you can't be mad because he asked you if you cook. That's not gonna get you there. You can't get offended if he asks you do you cook? And at the same time, to the fellas, you can't get offended if she asks you, do you cut some grass? You can't get offended if she asks you, do you got a job? Like, she want to know that you can bring the resources to the family. So she might ask you those questions. It's nothing to get offended about. She's just trying to understand, you know, let's say if you're a possible mate, just like he's trying to understand if you're a possible mate. It's really all it comes down to. Let me get a couple of these comments, then we're going to get ready to wrap. We at that time. Wizzy Lynette, she says, yes, we do. Okay, so I guess she's talking about wearing it as a badge of honor. So, okay, so there's still some ladies out here who, you know, wear that as a badge of honor. Let's see. Shirley Ann Montgomery, she said, this talk is coming from those who don't have. Okay, I can see that. And then Erica Arrington also says, and the fact that people think that way is why it's so many. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee.
You drop another bomb.
Yeah, let me read this comment because I think everybody need to hear this one. Erica Arrington, she says, and the fact that people think that way is why it's so many single people out here.
And that's on that.
Period.
There it is. Now, let me get one more, then we're going to get ready to wrap. Erica also says, yep, I cook. Not every day, but most days. LOL, but I eat every day. And I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. But yeah, like I said, that comment that she dropped about all these single people, I said, that's right on. And that's why we know we got some stuff to change, because I said you can't have strong family units if we got all these single separated folks out here. Yeah, that's key. So we got to fix that. But let's see, you guys got anything you want to say in closing as we get ready to wrap up? Chloe C. Prince.
Let me start
Ladies first.
Oh, ladies first. You're right. Let's be gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen. I just want to, I'm gonna be brief, okay? So, ladies, I really do want you guys to do that assignment, like for real. The reason why I said that is because we really do. Each and every one of us can benefit from this, regardless if you're in a relationship or not. Like, make that list and don't put on your education, or I want you to make that list because, ladies, we need to get back to understanding what our real value is. It doesn't mean that your education isn't important or that you shouldn't be proud of yourself for that. You absolutely should. But at the end of the day, I really want us to own our roles, right? Like, what's wrong with being proud of being the wife that, you know, supports her husband and helps catapult him into success, helps build the legacy with her husband for their kids, and helps, you know, build the generational wealth for the family. What's wrong with being the wife where your husband knows that when he get home, that his wife is going to be like there, ready, you know, to, you know, let him, you know, unload about his day, and she's gonna pour him up a drink and be like, hey, how was your day? And guess what? If you work, he can do the same for you. Like, man, babe, how was your day? Like, let's talk. Let's get, you know, like, be that woman that can be present. You know, sometimes as women, I think we've gotten so focused, so career focused, so tunnel vision on our careers that we have to remember that our careers that's not our life. Like, we were built with a completely different genetic makeup. That's why we are the nurturers, because we were built a certain way. Men need us to play our roles so that they can, you know, have the freedom of completely living in their roles. And by them completely living in their roles, then we're free to completely live in ours. So it's not about them lording over us. It's about them knowing what they're supposed to do for us, because there are things that they need to do for us. It's about them knowing what they are supposed to do for us, cover us, protect us, provide for us. It's about them knowing how to do that. And so if they're doing everything that they need to do, then we can rest. We can rest in the fact that we're protected, we're provided for, and we're covered. And maybe if we get back to each and every one of us owning our roles like that, then Black women, we ain't got to be out here so tired trying to do 50, 11 things all the time. We were not built that way. That's not our makeup. We weren't built to have to do that. That's why we're so tired. And then we don't want to show any weakness. And I think that that's something that we can do as Black women to start to heal ourselves, because this is a construct that this society has made us feel that way. They have made us feel that we have to be everything to everyone, and that just is simply not true. It's not true. And Black women, I want you free. I want to be free. I don't want us carrying this around with us forever. I don't want us always feeling like we got to live up to this invisible standard that is set for us, that no other nationality of women is expected to do this. No other nationality of women is expected to, work full time, be a PhD, be a mom, be a wife, work out 5 times a week. No other nationality of women is expected to do that but us. Do you understand how they did that to us? Do you understand how they made and conditioned us to feel that way? No. We need to rest in the covering that is supposed to be our men, and our men need to own that role. And if they do that and we do what we need to do, then we can start to work on healing ourselves physically and mentally. And that's what we need.
Well, Steve Chris, you got anything, man?
Yeah, Chloe asked me earlier, she said, what ponds to fish in? Well, I can tell you the ponds you don't want to fish in. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's simple to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you are fishing in a pond that a man disrespects the women in his life, his mother, his sister, his aunties, his grandmother, don't fish in that pond. If you fish in this pond, this man got 7 baby mamas, don't fish in that pond. If you got a dude that says, I got 13 kids and you next, don't fish in the pond. Understand this. He's telling you he's a loser. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I can say it now, but I guarantee you somebody on this show got somebody in the house right now. And he probably look at this show like this. I hate this brother right here. He talking about me. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You know I'm talking about you for real. If the dude don't got no job and he says, look, I'm going to the plasma center because they got a special on me giving me some plasma, you get rid of that clown. You understand this? If it's only, you know what I'm saying? If this cat says, I'll drop you off at work because he can't get his own car,
Jody.
These are the ponds you do not want to fish in. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? He can get a bus pass. He don't need your car. But I'm saying you are an enabler for the loser to live. Understand this. The man is a loser. But the biggest thing is this. If he disrespects his own mother and sister and stuff like that, why won't he disrespect you? Understand this. If you have a conversation with a man and all he can say is bitch, hoe, and all this when he's describing women, guess what? When he ain't with you, you that bitch and you that hoe. Understand?
You better go. Y'all made Charles rub his belly on that. He was giving out some good food right there. He was about to give out some good food. Hey, Quay, before I go, man, give me a hand clap. Give me a hand clap. I got something for the people. Let it marinate. Let it marinate, because Chloe and Charles just dropped y'all some bombs. Quay just dropped y'all some bombs.
We got a question, too, that just came in. Go ahead, though. I'm going to post this question when you're done.
Go with the question. I got something for us, though.
All right, it's a question from Lavelle. He said, Chloe, what is your opinion on grinding with your man for 3 to 5 years, both doing the heavy lifting to set yourself up for life? So that's for you, Chloe.
I think that if that is what you both have, decided that you want to do, I think if that's what the agreement that you guys have come to, because it really, your situation is going to also dictate what happens in your household. There is no one size fits all, right? So obviously, I would just say, you know, there needs to be a clear understanding of, you know, as a wife, there are still going to be things that she is going to be responsible for doing. She's still the nurturer of that home. She's still the one who has to carry the children. And at the end of the day, she's still the one that, the 50-50 in a relationship is a lie. Please stop. It's never 50-50. Somebody always get more. Somebody always sacrifice more. So please stop with the 50-50. Stop it. So if y'all walking around looking for a marriage, ladies, if you're looking for a 50-50 marriage, let me tell you, for somebody been married for 14 years, it don't exist. And you could talk to somebody who been married for 23, and you could talk to somebody who married for 50 years. 50-50 in a marriage is a lie. So don't expect that, ladies. Hate to break it to you. But anyway, I digress. What Lavelle was asking is valid. If that's the agreement that you guys have come to, that's great. But she also needs to understand what that's going to look like for her. I mean, just being completely honest, because in those 3 to 5 years, is she still having kids? Is she still going to be, you know, I guess she working some type of job. If y'all grinding out 3 to 5 years, then okay. She still is going to have all of those things that she's now going to be responsible for in addition to the grind. So if that's something that the both of you guys have agreed to and she good with it, then who am I to tell you not to do it? I mean, you guys you're setting yourself up for your future. So if that's what you're trying to do, if that's the plan, that's the plan. So, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, there's some relationships where the woman, just because of whatever the relationship is the one who holds on to her job. Maybe she has a better job. Maybe the husband, maybe his job is won't allow him to be what he needs to be or do what he needs to do. So he says, okay, I'm going to take a step back and I'll be with the kids, and you, because you have a better job, your situation is better, then you go and you're going to, and the woman agrees to it. Okay. So then that means that, you know, now there's a different type of give and take. That give and take still has to be there though. So what that looks like for your relationship may be different. My main, because I don't want people to get, you know, misunderstood. My main thing is we have roles that we need to assume. When we don't assume those roles, that's when it gets all haywire. A man could be a stay-at-home dad and still be the leader of that family. That's the thing. Woman, don't take away his position just because you are going to be the one going to work every day. That's the thing. Everybody needs to own their role. If the setup of that, if the plan for that looks different in your house, that's fine. As long as the man still owns his role and the woman still owns hers. At the end of the day, that's how we keep the balance. Once you start to, get creative where the woman want to be the wear the pants and she want to do this, she want to do that, then that's when things it goes left.
Right. Facts. All right, go ahead, Los. Do your thing, man.
Can I get that hand clap one more time? I want to talk to everybody in the audience. And I want y'all to understand one thing that hasn't been said. Forgiveness. We ain't discussed forgiveness. We get into these relationships and we ain't forgave ourselves. And we bring all the baggage and all the problems because we ain't got no self-love. And then because we ain't got no forgiveness, we take that anger and that hatred and then we put it onto the other person. And then we wonder why so many arguments and the struggle is so real. We got to find the forgiveness in our heart to forgive ourselves, to be free of what we've been through. Because when you carry your past and you let your past lead you, then your future becomes your past because you don't see nothing else. You can't see the person for who they are. If it's, let's just use C. Prince in this scenario or whatever else, right? Pause. Understand that I do love women, so let's not get it wrong. But I'm just going to use C. Prince's name for this situation. If I'm in a relationship with C. Prince, right? But Chloe just got done hurting me. And I can't see Prince in the relationship, and every time I say C. Prince's name, I'm talking about Chloe. How in the world am I supposed to have something with C. Prince? Because every problem that I have comes from me being angry with Chloe. So I can't see what C Prince could possibly offer me or the future that I have, because I drowned the future out because I'm taking out my anger of Chloe out on C Prince. So now we can't have anything, or we can't build anything, because you can't build a house on sand. And then you wonder why it's falling apart. It's falling apart because you've fallen apart, because you have no sense of self-love. You have no sense of who you are. You have no sense of forgiveness. So now you're taking all this energy, negative and toxicity, and you're bringing it into the new situation, because one, you ain't forgave you. You ain't forgave yourself for what you've been through from your childhood experience, from your previous relationship experience, from your own self. You ain't meditated, you ain't healed, you ain't looked at you. So now you're coming into the new situation broken and wondering why you can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. Because you're so busy trying to fix that person, you ain't fixed yourself. You want this person to be everything. You got this huge standard of what you want this person to be with expectations. But it's funny how you have expectations of someone else, but you ain't got the same expectations for yourself. You don't want this. You want this person to be perfect, but you're broken. You want this person to be all of this, and why ain't he doing this, and why ain't he doing that? But you ain't checked your own checklist. It's amazing how we could put all the rules and all the standards on the other person, but we don't have to live up to that same expectation. And then we wonder why there's so much finger pointing going on. We wonder why, but understand, when you point a finger at someone else, you got fingers pointing back at you. And then that's why we take this hurt upon everything that I said about the systemic portion. But I just wanted to talk about the power of forgiveness, the power of being free, the power of not just carrying all the bullshit into a new situation, because shit stinks. I don't care what place I don't care what house you in. If you put shit in the house gonna smell like shit. Period. You can't change the shit. Shit is shit. And until you clean the shit up, it's always gonna be shit. Period. Now here's the funny thing about shit. Shit can be used as fertilizer to grow something beautiful, if you take the time to understand what it is. Because everything that you've been through, every single problem that you have, is your blessing. Because now you know how to grow from it. Now you know how to become a better person from it. Now that can become your strength. See what I'm saying? So sometimes we look at problems the wrong way. We look at problems as missing out on the blessing. Because when you go through something, you learn from it and you can become the better person. And that's how you clean up your own shit. So your house don't have to stink. You got to clean up your own garden. You got to pull the weeds out your own backyard, mentally, physically, spiritually, and everything else. And then your plants can grow. And then someone can see how beautiful your garden really is. And then someone's going to want to respect the garden. Because if you go into a house that look like trash, you're going to treat it just like it look. But if you go into a place that looks beautiful and that looks amazing, guess what? You're going to be more careful with it. You're going to take your time with it. So how are you presenting yourself in the new relationship? Are you bringing... You got to take the time to find the forgiveness once again. Available for some... Nobody else love us for ourselves. And forgive.
Los, you're starting to break up, man.
Hope y'all, like.
Yeah, we starting to lose.
I think I froze, Corey.
Yeah, we starting to lose your audio, man.
Why am I gonna film, bro?
Yeah, I think we just lost him. Okay. Well, yeah, no, like I said, we appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Everybody down in the comments, I said we got a long comment string. Let's say we appreciate you, Erica, Lavelle, Woodsley, Lynette, Paula, Peter. Let's say Shirley Ann, Corinne as well. Let's say we appreciate you guys joining us down in the comments. And let's say everybody came on the panel. Let's say C Prince, Chloe, you make it back. I think he made it back. You back, man?
Am I back?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Well, did I freeze out? I'm sorry.
Yeah, your audio was freezing at the end a little bit, but no, we got the gist of what you were saying, man. It came through for the most part. Let me get this comment. I don't want the ladies to forget. So ladies, you got a homework assignment. Chloe, tell them real quick what the assignment is so they don't forget. We want to see something next Thursday. Tell them the assignment real quick.
I want to see your list. And guess what? I'll do this. I'll do the assignment too. I mean, I need to do it too. I want to see the list of the 10 the resources that you bring to the table that have nothing to do with your degree. The 10 resources that you bring to the table. I want to see that. I really want to see that. I'm not saying that, you know, your job ain't important. I'm not saying that. But I do. I want to see. I want to challenge us all, myself included. I want to challenge us to look at ourselves critically and really see what our role is and what our value is. If we took this secular education out of it, what do we bring to the table? What is our value in a relationship? I want us to see that. I want us to be able to confidently say what that is.
Okay. And we got one more for the assignment. Everybody got to bring one person to the show. Everybody got to bring a friend. Bring a friend. Don't be selfish with all this good information. Don't be doing homework and y'all don't want to bring a friend. Share the information. Love this. Bring a friend.
Facts. So yeah, like I said, once again, we do this show every Thursday night, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday night. Like I said, this is Look in the Mirror, the Conversation. I'm one of your co-hosts, Quay Price. We got our other co-host, King Jarquil Martin. We got our temporary stand-in today, C Prince. Like I said, we got one of our long time. We got the first lady on the show, Chloe, as well. And like I said, once again, somebody just dropped another comment. Oh, okay. Erica said easy. Okay, she said she coming with her assignment. All right, Erica, we gonna be looking for that.
Erica, if it's so easy, join the panel. You dig?
All right, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We'll catch you guys next Thursday.
Gang, gang, gang.